Sources of finance. For more videos like this one, please visit www.sensebusiness.co.uk. Businesses need to choose the appropriate ways to finance their operations. Finance can be short or long term. It's important that businesses choose the most suitable type of finance for their needs. There are many factors that will influence the type of finance a business decides to use. The purpose of the finance, objectives of the organization, amount of finance required, the type of business. Not all sources of finance are available to all businesses. Length of the time the finance is required for. The main sources of finance are bank overdraft, bank loan, a grant, mortgage, share issue, owner investment, loan from family or friends, hire purchase, crowdfunding, leasing, retaining profit, and venture capital. Sources of finance. There are justifications for each source of finance, and it is important that a business chooses the appropriate source of finance for their needs. Internal finance. Owner investment. Owner investment or capital is the money that is invested by the owner from their own personal funds. The advantages are that it does not need to be paid back, and there is full control over the business is maintained. Disadvantages. Personal savings may be lost if the business is unsuccessful. Retained profit. Retained profit is profit that has been made by the business in previous years that is then reinvested back into the company. Advantages. It does not need to be repaid. The disadvantages are that for profits to build up to use in this way can take too long and good business opportunities can be missed. External finance. Banks. Bank overdraft. A bank overdraft is a facility that will allow you to withdraw more money from your account than is available. A bank overdraft is a short-term source or finance. Advantages. It can be arranged quickly. The disadvantages are that it's expensive as a high rate of daily interest is charged. Usually only available for small sums of money. Bank loan. A bank loan is a long-term source of finance. It is a fixed amount of money that is given to a business by the bank that has to be repaid over time with interest, usually in monthly installments. Advantages. It can be arranged quickly. Loan can be repaid over a long period of time. Disadvantages. Interest has to be paid in addition to the loan amount. Mortgage. Mortgage is a long-term source of finance. It is a sum of money borrowed from the bank that is secured against a property and paid back in installments, usually over a long period of time. Advantages are that mortgage is given for a long time period. Large amounts of finance can be raised quickly. Disadvantages are that interest is charged on the loan. Property can be lost to the mortgage lender if repayments are missed. External finance. Hire purchase and leasing. Hire purchase. Hire purchase is used to purchase an asset such as a delivery van or a piece of equipment. A deposit is paid and the remaining amount for the asset is paid in monthly installments over a set period of time. The business does not own the item until all payments are made. Advantages are that expensive assets can be purchased and paid back over time. Disadvantages are that interest is charged on hire purchase items. Equipment is not owned until the final payment is made. A delivery van is a company asset that is often financed through hire purchases. Leasing. Leasing is a way of renting an asset that the business requires, such as a coffee machine. Monthly payments are made and the leasing company is responsible for the provision and upkeep of the leased item. Advantages. Large amounts of money are not required upfront to lease machinery. The leasing company are responsible for repairs and maintenance. Disadvantages. Over time, it can be a more expensive way to obtain assets. Assets are never owned by the business. External finance. Other sources. Loan from family or friends. Businesses can obtain a loan from family or friends that may not need to be paid back or is paid back with little or no interest charges. Advantages. May not need to be paid back. The disadvantages are that money may be lost if business is not successful. Arguments may occur between family members. Grant. A grant is a fixed amount of money usually awarded by the government, European Union, or charitable organizations. Grants are given to a business on the condition that they meet a certain criteria, such as providing jobs in areas of high unemployment. Advantages. It does not need to be paid back. Disadvantages: businesses need to meet the certain criteria. It is time consuming to apply for grants and completing the paperwork. Share issue: share issue is a source of finance that is only available to private or public limited companies. Such businesses can decide to issue more shares in the company and obtain finance from their sales. The advantages and disadvantages are that finance raised does not need to be paid back. Large amounts of finance can be raised. The shareholders, however, need to be paid a dividend each year, and shareholders become part owners of the business. Crowdfunding: crowdfunding involves getting small amounts of finance from a large amount of people. This is usually done through social media or crowdfunding websites. Crowdfunding investors may donate money, get rewards for their investments, or receive a share of the profits. The advantages and disadvantages of crowdfunding are there's access to large amount of investors. It's a fast way to raise finance. A public request for investment risks your project being copied by competitors. If the targeted amount isn't reached, the money is returned to the investors and the business gets nothing. Venture capital: venture capital is money that investors provide to a company that is starting up or expanding. Venture capital is usually used when there is an element of risk with the business. Advantages: it's available for more risky investment. The disadvantages are that venture capitalists may want a share of the business, meaning some control may be lost. A larger return may be required due to the high risk nature of the investment. We have prepared 10 questions for you to practice. Please visit the link below to test yourself. Thank you for watching. For more videos like this one, please visit www.sensebusiness.co.uk.